Here's a short overview on parabolas. Let's take a look at parabolas as a conic section and mainly specifically focus on parabolas, let's say with vertex at 0, 0. An important part about the parabola as a conic section is that any point on the parabola is actually the same distance away from both the focus right here and the directrix. And also notice that the focus itself is away from the vertex um, by a units, and a is actual distance from the vertex to the focus and also from the vertex to the directrix. That's why we count a to be positive, because it's distance. And that's how we look at it. So let's take a look at, let's say we can have a negative parabola if we have a negative in the equation. And that way, of course, the focus is the same as over here. Notice it's negative 4a, and the focus would be 0, negative a in this case. And same kind of rules apply. Now, horizontal parabola, if the y is squared, then we can have either a parabola facing to the right or to the left, and same rules apply. And another interesting thing about the parabola is that the distance from the focus to the point on the parabola is twice the a, right here. Okay, and that's the important part to figure out how wide the parabola should be. And that's what generally I remember, is that the distance from the focus to the parabola is twice the a. And altogether it would be 4a. And that's how we know how wide the parabola would be. So for example, if we have an equation like right here, usually we match it to the corresponding standard equation, which is right here, and usually this number, which is 2 over here, is equal to 4a. Or if this was a negative, then it would be equal to negative 4a. And so we always divide by 4 or negative 4 to figure out the a, which is the distance. So in this case, focus happened to be 1/2. And notice, to figure out how wide the parabola is, so the point from the focus to the parabola should be twice of 1/2, which is 1 in this case. That's how we get negative 1 and 1. Okay? And same kind of idea applies over here. And now let's talk very briefly about the parabolas that start at a point that's not a vertex. The translation of the parabola. Notice how vertex is usually h is the coordinate of x and k is the coordinate of y. So notice this is the vertical parabola, both x minus h squared equals to 4a or negative 4a y minus k. And the idea kind of is that the focus itself is no longer a or negative a, because the vertex is not 0, 0. But the distance, notice how if we have the focus and the directrix, which is 0, 2, and y equals negative 4, notice they're not the same distance to the origin, so the origin cannot be the vertex. But the total distance from the focus to the directrix is 6. So notice half of that, right at the midpoint, that would be where the vertex is. And this distance is a. But notice the focus itself doesn't have a in it anymore, and neither does the directrix. So a is just the distance, and it's the distance from the vertex to the focus and vice versa. So that's how we find the equation. The equation was, once you know the vertex, we can plug in. This was a vertical parabola, so it would be x minus 0 squared equals to 4 times a, which you found the distance, y minus a negative 1, which simplifies to that. And same kind of idea, if you know the vertex, if you know the focus, we can find a as the distance between the vertex and the focus. And that's why it was 2. And so that's how come we get 8. And that's it.